Race and reparations were front and center tonight, which one moderator, of course, used to attack Trump. Horace Cooper, Leo Terrell join our Powerhouse Roundtable next.
Congressman O'Rourke, President Trump is pursuing a re-election strategy based in part on racial division. How do you convince primary voters that you'd be the best nominee to take on President Trump and heal the racial divide in America? Senator Klobuchar, what do you say to those Trump voters who prioritize the economy over the president's bigotry?
Don Lemon summing up how CNN handled that issue tonight. I think the other two guys, Tapper and Bash, did a pretty fair job. Pretty interesting debate, actually, substantive. But our star-studded panel is back. Rudy G., Mike Huckabee, Mark Penn, Sarah Carter, joining them. I don't think we've ever had this many people on at once. Horace Cooper, co-chair of Project 21, and Leo Terrell, civil rights attorney. It looks like the jumble, you know, the puzzle and the... Horace, questions like that, how does CNN defend having Lemon moderate this debate? I mean, just proclaiming Trump, you know, someone as traffics and racial division. I mean, that was actually a question.
It's like what happens in a forest when no one's around and people ask, is there a sound? The ratings at CNN are in such a floor state, it's not clear, even when they have the Democrats on for a debate with one-sided questions offered by Mr. Lemon, it's not clear that anyone is paying attention anyway.
Leo, Beto O'Rourke pushed for reparations tonight by dissing basically all of you know, the American history that at least we know of. Watch.
The legacy of slavery and segregation and Jim Crow and suppression is alive and well in every aspect of the economy and in the country today. As president, I will sign into law a new Voting Rights Act. I will focus on education, address healthcare disparities, but I will also sign into law Sheila Jackson Lee's reparations bill so that we can have the national conversation we have waited too long in this country to have.
Is Jim Crow still alive and well, Leo, with black employment at record levels?
No, it's not. It's not alive and well. But Laura, I want to give you some news for everyone. New York Post, a Fox publication, came out and quoted the Quinnipiac poll. 51% of the country, Laura, said that President Trump is a racist. And I applaud you for saying right in the previous segment, Trump needs to lower the temperature. He said a couple of years ago, what do you got to lose? Give me a chance. Why don't he go to Baltimore like you were suggesting with Shelby Steele? But 51% of this country right now believes that Trump is a racist. What does that tell you about his messaging? The only person who's been honest about it is Laura Ingraham, because she said he needs to lower the temperature and he's committed unforced errors.
You know why that is? The reason that is the New York Times, the Washington Post, all of the talking heads lie about the president. They lie about the president. Our organization, Project 21, came out last year with a blueprint for a better deal for America, and we were addressing issues like in Baltimore.
Horace, what do you say about the New York Post?
Like crime.
Comment on the New York Post.
Do you know who responded?
Comment on the New York Post.
The White House did. The White House invited us to the White House.
Is the New York Post,
not the CBC,
is the New York Post fake news?
Not the mayor of Baltimore, not any of these Democrat leaders were willing to do it.
I think that one thing, I think Leo
that's not a talking point. That's a reality.
What I tend to, I like to do, and Rudy, as mayor of New York during one of the most tumultuous and difficult times, tragic times for the city, you I think, appointed people based on results and fired them if they didn't actually deliver results. To me, and I've known Trump for about 20 years, that's what he does. He'll get rid of you. Don't give him results, he'll get rid of you. If you deliver results, he thinks, you know, thumbs up for now. But he's impatient for change. He wants change in Baltimore, in LA, in San Francisco. And Rudy, that's how I see him. And maybe he's rough around the edges, but a lot of us are, okay? And you're walking on eggshells, you don't say the right thing, you take on Elijah Cummings, and then you're a terrible person. That's not true, okay? He wants results for the inner city, and he thinks there are better ways. I think now it's up to him to offer a couple of concrete ideas that can be implemented. Rudy.
Well, bravo, Laura. Bravo. Bravo. Thank you, Laura. Thank you for giving Trump some good advice right now.
Let's get Rudy on this. I don't need the bravo. Go ahead.
Well, I think being called a racist now is not what it was 10, 20 years ago. I think they've demeaned it. I don't know what the American people even think a racist is anymore because it's used all the time. And frankly, I don't worry for my friend, the president, about false charges. He will have plenty of opportunities over the next year to show, first, he's not a racist. False charges can always be dismissed. And the reality is that he's done more for the African American community, Hispanic, white, everybody else, than any president in 50 years. In 50 years. So I think there are enough really intelligent, smart African American voters who are tired of the crooks that have been representing them and doing nothing for them. I faced that in Harlem, Laura. Yeah. Charlie Rangel and his crowd didn't do a damn thing for Harlem for 30 years. They just became millionaires. I think if you check, Mr. Cummings has become a millionaire, and their people suffered and were killed, and I turned it around because they needed not because I'm so terrific, because I didn't know anything to these crooks. And the reality is that's what's going on in inner city Baltimore.
Results. Well, Rudy, you delivered results.
Yeah, I saved more African American lives.
Trump, he is results oriented. I got to ask Mike Huckabee, should the president go to Baltimore and work with those disruptive, and I mean disruptive in a good way, groups on the ground that are getting it done but need some extra help?
I think it would be a terrific idea, Laura, and there are a number of pastors and churches in that area with whom he could partner. It ain't going to be the politicians, but there was a great missed opportunity tonight with Bernie Sanders standing there. Buttigieg or somebody should have turned to him and says, you know, Senator, you once just a few years ago said Baltimore was a third world country.
Yeah, right.
Are you a racist, sir? Are you a racist because you said the same thing about Baltimore that President Trump said, and yet today you called him a racist, but you said the same thing, so are you a racist?
All right, panel, stay there. Coming up, 2020 Democrats say that they're fighting for our country's soul. So why the hostility toward religion? Ralph Reed joins our panel next.